Hello everyone. This Friday, August 17th, is the Chinese Valentine Day, 七夕 or Double Seventh Day, which is in the lunar calendar July 7th. So we'll talk about a poem on 七夕 festival. The name is 秋夕 by 杜牧. Ironically, most people know the Singles Day, which is November 11th, started by Taobao as a commercial campaign several years ago. But Qixi is starting from Han Dynasty, 2,000 years ago. Okay, let's the poem first. 秋夕，杜牧。银珠秋光冷画屏，轻罗小扇扑流萤。天阶夜色凉如水，卧看牵牛织女星。秋夕 night in the autumn. 夕 also implies the 七夕 Chinese Valentine's Day. 银烛秋光冷画屏。So the silver candle shines on the screens coldly in the autumn night. The 画屏 means the screen has the paintings on it. 轻罗小扇扑流萤. The ladies strike out the fireflies with their fans. 轻罗 versing silk. 小扇 small fans. This means the fans made of the versing silk. 流萤 is the fireflies. 天阶夜色凉如水. The steps is cold at the water. 卧看牵牛织女星. So I'm laying down to watch the 牵牛 star and 织女 star. 杜牧, the poet, is quite famous, perhaps the most famous poet in the late Tang dynasty. In the point of view of history, the Tang is divided into 4 parts. So the late Tang dynasty, the last part, actually the country is getting very weak, and the political is the political. It's too political. Du Mu was born in a very big and famous family. It was told, 惟杜离天三尺, Wei, the Wei family, Du, the Du family, is only below the heaven 1.5 feet. The heaven refers to the emperor actually, so they are the only 2 big families below the emperor. So the both families has a lot of the famous people in the Tang dynasty, the prime ministers, big poets. Du Mu was grown up in such a big, famous family and in a very poor political situation of the country. He passed the imperial exam in the age of 26, which means he's a very, very genius person, and he's very fond of the military strategies, also the history readings. So you can see he's quite ambitious, and he wants to contribute or change the poor conditions of the country. All this military strategy studying, the history studies, is all the preparations for his own ambitions. Du Mu was looked on by a lot of people, the emperors as well. But he don't think he has a very good political career as he saw it. He asked several times in his mid-age to send him far away from the capital, from the central office, from the emperor. Actually, where is the best place to change the country, to contribute to the country? So this is Du Mu, the poet. This was reflected in his poem as well. His poem was categorized in two types. One is with ambitious, strong, political. The other type is erotic. So this is the life-changing or the mind-changing of Du Mu. When he don't want to do the political things, so he spent most of his time in the Hoover's house or with beautiful women. This poem was categorized as 宫院诗, a very big branch of Tang poem, to describe the women in the royal palaces who complains about the life in the palace because she doesn't have the chance to serve the emperor or meet the emperor and spend the whole life with nothing. This poem is really hard to attribute to Du Mu's type, ambitious or erotic. Let's see. Another background for this poem is 香草美人, 香草, the sweet grass, 美人, the beauty. We have talked several times about Chinese literature, which is 风骚. So, two roots of the Chinese literature. The Sao is by Qu Yuan, 楚辞, 楚骚. So, he has a lot of descriptions of the grass, the beauties in his poem. In fact, it's not about the grass and beauties. The different flavors of the grass represents different characters of the human beings. The beauties doesn't refer to the women, it refers to the political characters. Sometimes could be the king of Chu, sometimes could be the Qu Yuan himself. So this maybe is another explanation for the 宫院诗, the Tang poem 宫院诗. So does it writing about the women in the royal palace? Or it just simulate the women as the officials who serve the emperor? Both of them serve the emperor. With all this background, let's review the poem about Chinese Valentine's Day. 银烛秋光冷画屏, 银烛 silver candle. Normally the candle is red, used in the wedding ceremony or in the temples. Here the silver candle is a cold color. And also the cold is pointed out in the sentence, 冷画屏, cold screen with paintings. So this all delivers the atmosphere as cold. 轻罗小扇扑流萤. The fan is symbolic because in the Han Dynasty there's a story about the fan. It simulates the fan as an abandoned girl because in the autumn's time the weather is getting colder and colder and the fan is useless. It was abandoned finally. 流萤, the firefly, is also something because Chinese think the fireflies always appears at the cemetery. So when you see the fireflies, it could be a place cemetery or a place abandoned. So this sentence all reflect the sense or the feelings of the abandoned. 天阶夜色凉如水. So 天, it also implies the emperor. And also here, cold again. 凉 is cold. 如水, 水 always give you a sense of floating. So in China, it's always associated with the time changings, 似水流年. So the water is cold and is floating. And life is cold and the woman is getting old. 卧看之牵牛织女星, So lying there, watching the stars, 牵牛 star and 织女 star, which is the two major characters in the 七夕 festival or the 七夕 story, which is the Chinese Valentine's Day. So the ladies in the palace has nothing to do in the Valentine's Day, just watching the stars, thinking about the emperor, thinking about the stories of the 牵牛 and 织女, or maybe thinking something others. 牵牛 and 织女 is a very sad story. The two were separated by the gods, and they can only meet each other once a year in the 七夕 day, the Chinese Valentine's Day. So what about the ladies, the women in the royal palace? Can they meet the emperors? How many times can they meet with the emperors in a year, or maybe in 10 years, or maybe in their whole lifelong times? So who knows? So maybe Dumu is thinking about how many times he could meet with the emperors. Remember the tradition 美人香草. The beauty is always represented with the character in the political lives. So the women in the royal palace thinking about the emperor, how many times they can meet with the emperors. Maybe Dumu is thinking the same things. But in fact, Dumu has the access to the emperors. He was born in a big and powerful family with the political influences. He passed exams, the imperial exams, in his early age, and he was appreciated by a lot of people and the emperors as well. But finally, he decided to get away from all this. But did he really want to get rid of these political things? Who knows? But he's complaining by this point, with this point. Dumu's family was not far from the capital Chang'an. Duqu, the place name is Duqu, is still there today. And his tomb was still there till the Cultural Revolutions and destroyed in the Cultural Revolutions. Dumu is unique. He has a lot of the poems, just like the most prosperous Tang time, like Li Bai, like the best part of the Tang poems, strong, with ambitious. But he also has the best breed of the erotic poems, which doesn't exist in the Sheng Tang, the most prosperous Tang time. Okay, I wish you to enjoy this, and I would, of course, will have more poems by Du Mu, the erotic poems by him. Bye-bye.